Okay, welcome to the Strawtown Cottage. This is a little sitting area that we have, and I'm Mary, and this is Jennifer.
Yeah.
And I purchased this about 3 years ago. It was empty. Yeah, it was empty for about 10 years, and so I worked on it for almost a year. And the first people that I had here was the Pella tour of homes. So if you look over here, I had got a donation, and I made a fire pit and bought some chairs. The people that come and stay at the cottage enjoy the fire pit a lot. Okay, the store, cottage, the Strawtown Cottage, has a lot of history. It was originally a store, the Segment store, one of the first stores in Pella. It was all in this little area called Strawtown, and that's why I named it Strawtown Cottage. It was purchased by the Historic Trust, and they saved it from being torn down. They did a lot of work on it for several years before I purchased it. I became a member of the Historic Trust, and they were trying to decide what to do with the property, and someone said that I would make I always thought I wanted to have a bed and breakfast, and they said, "Oh, Mary, you would be good at that." And before I knew it, I was buying it. And so I made it into an Airbnb, as I don't cook. And it still has a lot of the original things, as you will see when you go inside. Part of the original foundation of the house, and I wanted to be able to use them someplace, so I put them all out front and then put the flowers with it.
A lot of Pella's limestone was quarried out of a quarry by Des Moines and brought into town, so it has a little more color than Pella limestone would.
Exactly.
But I always say that the limestone that we use represents the foundation of our community.
Exactly. Underneath the floor, there is an old well, and it's not used anymore, but it is there, and so that is why it has the opening and the hinges. Welcome to the Strawtown Cottage. This is one of my prized possessions. It's part of the money I used from the donation I received. And people really marvel over this piece of range. And I started looking for antiques, and I found this sink and used it. But I did make everything modern, like we have the modern dishwasher. They have water in their fridge. I welcome them with some wine from our local winery, and also I have coffee cake here for them for in the morning. So I get a lot of compliments on making sure I have some of the Dutch treats, and so we have. This cupboard over here to my left was the original cupboard. It was in the hallway. When I purchased the property, there was a hallway going through the middle, and someone had told me it was a shotgun house because you could see right through the center of it. And so this cupboard was in there, and I took it and put it here. And if you notice the ceiling, it's the original floors, and was able to paint them and save them.
Yeah, it's a lot of character.
It is. I was really excited when I took down the sheetrock that the floor was, ceiling and floor was still there. So I have coffee here. They can have all the different tastes they want by the little coffee bar. As we come into the living room, you'll notice I have a table and chairs and a buffet to be able to serve a dinner if you have guests that come to see you when you're visiting us in Pella. Most of the furniture that I have has been collected from garage sales, or since I have a real estate company, people move and I buy their things, or I buy things on Pella for sale. The things that I didn't buy at a garage sale was like chairs and the Davenport, and also all the bedding is top of the line mattresses. So I have got many comments on people that have said thank you for the good night's sleep, and I've had more guests come. As you notice, the ceiling is the same as it is in the kitchen. Was able to save all of the floor joists and keep the rafters original. This is a phonograph that I got when someone moved, and I've had some of my guests say, we danced to your music with your records. And as you notice, over to my right is a old stove that I just use for decorations, and a crock in the corner for the light. The little space right here is where people leave me messages of what they liked about the cottage, and I'm always anxious to read them after they leave. This is a plaque I got from the Historic Trust for redoing the cottage and saving it. If you're staying overnight, which you most likely are, I have a laundry room with a washer and dryer that you can This is one of the favorite rooms of the people that come and stay. The shiplap on this wall is original, and the front wall is all original. The windows in the front of the whole house are original with the house, and we saved them. I had someone take them all in and redo them so that they are really in good shape and safe. I was able to find more shiplap to match what was there, so I redid the rest of the room with the shiplap. These doors are original to the cottage, and people really enjoy coming to and being able to soak in the bathtub. That was one that I found. This store was one that was in the house, so I saved it and made it so that you can use it as a shade when you're taking a bath. As you'll notice, the ceiling in here is a little lower. It was the only way we could do to get the electrical to go where it needs to go. So this room has a smaller shower. I found a dresser and had someone make a sink and out of it. I'm really excited about this place. I love having guests come, and they love to hear the history of it and tell their friends, and I've been getting referrals because of people visiting. Got this old stove from somebody that had their house for sale, and they said, Mary, you know, you really need this stove. So a lot of things I heard from my customers was, Mary, you need this, and Mary, you need that. So I bought their stove, and I bought this then, and I had a friend that gave me this
That is beautiful piece.
dining area piece, yes. And then I thought I better have some Dutch things, so this wall is all Dutch pictures. This door was original to the house, and it was taken out and saved by Wayne Steensma, and he put it back in and let it stay with the house. I have a little book here, and I have its original things of the property, like this was the kitchen, and this was some of the ceiling, and it shows how much repair it needed. And then this is my two workers that worked, and they're standing there like this and saying, what are we going to have to do next? So they were really puzzled when I said, this is what I want to do. And they say, you want to do what? And I said, yes, that's what I want to do. So I come up with things that I thought of that maybe no one else did. This here was one of my first pieces that I got. I got it from Lynn Branderhorst. She said it's really old. As you can see, it's just does not have any nails in it. It's all put together with little wood pieces. But this was my first piece that I ever had, and it was a gift from Lynn. So then I went and had the cupboards, tried to make them look old, but still functional as we came back into the kitchen. This piece was from someone that had moved along with the table in the other room, and I purchased it from them. So I wanted to have a door with a transom. So someone was tearing down their building, so I went and I bought their transom, but it was an outside door, so I made it so you couldn't see through it. I put some glaze on it. And I wanted to find something to do with the windows that I had. I put the one in the other bathroom, but I also put the other one up here with the leaded glass. And I had enough shiplap left over from what I purchased from someone. It was just a friend, and I was saying, I need a little more shiplap. And he says, Mary, I got a whole wagon load of shiplap. So he brought the wagon in, and I power washed both sides and let it dry. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. And so as you see, this ceiling is the same as the rest of the house. The bedroom set was from Marjorie Giles. She went to a retirement home. And so I purchased the whole set with 3 sets, and then I made the dresser into a sink, like the one in the other room. And then as this here door also comes from that building that was torn down of Harley Vermeer. And so this bathroom has a bigger shower than the other closet. And also I just had this little round hat box, I think, that I use for towels. These lamp fixtures, as you notice, I have them in the kitchen and here. I always liked them, and so I collected them from garage sales, the thrift store, so I could have one here, and I have them in this bedroom, and I also have them in the kitchen, but they are all old. This wardrobe here was one that I had when I was a child, and when we had tour of homes for Christmas, I had Jenny Moore came help me, and so she helped me with decorating the top. I still have some of the Christmas decorations up, but the picture up here is a picture of my mom when she was little. Originally, I was going to have the bed facing this way. And then my daughter, who travels a lot, she says, Mom, you can't do that. Because if you notice this board over here behind, I had a little entry here where I had an old-fashioned sink. And then the door was out there. And she says, Mom, you won't have any room for them to get their suitcase through. So we've moved the bed over this way. As you can see, it's higher up. And I covered up one of the windows that I put in so I could have more room for people to get away around. So the headboard is actually nailed to the wall or screwed to the wall. So it actually works out a lot better. So I'm glad that I got advice from several different people. Well, you need to do this and you need to do that. And I usually listened, and then I did what I wanted.
In restoration, a lot of significance is keeping the original windows. You can do a lot of insulating with the caulk, or to remove the weights and fill that in with insulation and still keep them operational and looking true to the period of the house. And another beautiful feature of the historic windows or the vintage windows is they were made with float glass, and that will have a little bit of a imperfection, but yet true clarity and beauty for the period. It shows quite a bit if they're not float glass. But so if you're restoring a house, we'd love to talk to you about preserving the original windows and tightening them up so that they don't leak, and keeping that character to your house.
I have had several people tell me, thank you so much for saving it, and thank you for keeping the windows, thank you for keeping the ceilings, thank you for all the antiques, and we just really enjoy staying here.